Yeah, we back. Now today is going to be a quick video, man. It's going to be a follow-up video to the one I dropped yesterday, entitled, take a look up on the screen, 6 the Goddis says MTR is lame and corny. Reaction. And in that video, I was giving my commentary based on a situation that happened sometime last month. MTR made a video coming at 6 the Goddis because she disrespected a brother by the name of Nathan Daley. She made fun of his near-death experience, and MTR said because of that, he no longer wants to have a business relationship with 6 the Goddis. And a few days ago, 6 the Goddis put out a video giving a response to MTR. And to summarize it the best way I can, she basically told MTR, listen up, you a corny dude, you a lame dude, Nathan Daley is an ex-police officer, and 6 the Goddis said she does not rock with police officers. Now, I'm not too sure, but as it stands right now, I don't think Nathan Daley is a police officer anymore. And 6 the Goddis, like she said in previous videos, she said you shouldn't judge somebody by their past. That's what she said on many occasions. Sometime last month when it came to light that before 6 the Goddis hopped on social media, she was up in the strip club. She was moving around in the streets. And she told everybody that you should not judge somebody by their past. Those are her words, not mine. I don't subscribe to that. I believe you should be judged by your past. That's me personally. But as we already know, like most women, they do not hold themselves to the standards that they subject onto other people. Don't judge my past. Don't look at my past, but I'm going to lay judgment and condemnation on your past and everything you do. Don't judge me. Don't attack me. But if I attack you, all's fair in love and war. Like I said, man, that's why you don't go back and forth with these women. Like, it's no common sense. It's no consistency. It's just a bunch of bullshit manipulation and trying to run game on you and hoping that you stupid. Anyways, let's continue. So apparently, due to my video yesterday, I had some subscribers that also are fans of 6 the Goddis, some black men subscribers that hopped in my comment section and told me that I'm gonna unsubscribe from your channel because I don't rock with the police. I don't rock with cops. Keep in mind, like I said, Nathan Daley is no longer a police officer. That's in his past life. Just like 6 the Goddis is no longer a stripper. That's in her past life. And they said you shouldn't judge somebody by their past life. That's what she said, not me. So I had a few brothers come into the comment section yesterday and tell me they're going to unsubscribe from the channel. And if you remember what I said in the video yesterday, especially when I spoke about black men who are fans and supporters of 6 the Goddis, keep it real. You know you're a fan of 6 the Goddis due to the physical presentation. It's not due to any high intellect happening in the conversation. It's because of the physical presentation. You are controlled by the flesh. You are a weak man controlled by the lust of the flesh. That's all you are. You are weak. You are beneath me. Because I'm not a black man that is controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh. She can never run game on me like the way she run games on your dumb ass. Now today we're going to compare it, okay? I'm going to pull up a series of news articles, just randomly Google searching, and we're going to see what comes up. And we're going to compare it. The ex-strippers, the ex-prostitutes versus the ex-police officers. And I'm going to show you what happens to men, weak men who are controlled by the flesh, who are governed by the lust of the flesh. I'm going to show you what happens. I'm going to show you what you're defending. Because I had one brother come into my comment section. He told me, brother, you got to grow up. You got to grow up. You're defending the police. I never defended the police. I defended a black man. I defended a black man. Nowhere in that video did I defend the police. But if you want to put up somebody's past life, the police versus the stripper, I'm going to show you what you're defending. And this is why I say, y'all boys are beneath me. You are a weak man governed by the lust of the flesh. And that's why women like 6 the Goddis, they run circles around your dumb ass. Now let's get into it, man. Just yesterday, I was scrolling through Instagram and this popped up directly up on the screen. Let's read it together. Woman allegedly drugged a Miami man she had just met and stole more than $600,000 in jewelry off of him, including 2 Rolex watches. The police are asking for the public's help in identifying her. Now listen, this is nothing new. This is par for the course. This happens every day in the line of sex work, strippers, prostitutes, escorts, hoes on a blade. This is the walk of life that 6 the Goddis came from. This is the same woman that brother came into the comment section defending, telling me I gotta grow up because I'm defending the police. Well, what are you defending? You weak ass motherfucker. You the type of dude that gets robbed for your goddamn Audemars Piguet. You the motherfucking dude that gets robbed for the Rolex watch. You the motherfucking dude that gets robbed for your motherfucking Richard Mille. You a weak ass motherfucker, and that would never happen to me because I'm not controlled by the lust of the goddamn flesh. You are weak. You are weak, and I'm glad you are unsubscribed for the channel because I don't need no weak black men in my congregation. You are weak. You are beneath the soles of my feet. Women in the line of sex work, women who come from the line of sex work, they are very familiar with weak men like that. Weak men who will defend anything because of the physical presentation. Weak men who are governed by the lust of the flesh. Women in the line of sex work, they capitalize upon weak men who are controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh. It's those weak men who get robbed for their watch, robbed for their car, robbed for their wallet, robbed for their chain, robbed for their earrings, robbed for their credit cards. You are weak. You are weak. You are weak. You are weak. I would never be in the predicament where I'm calling up 911. I'm calling up the police because I took a stripper home back from the club and she robbed me for the goddamn Rolex watch. It would never happen, bro. It would never happen. But you know the type of dude that it would happen to? Them dudes that came into my comment section yesterday trying to defend 6 the Goddis, telling me they unsubscribing. You the type that gets robbed for your watch and your chain, not me. Let's continue. Now, I'm sure many of y'all are familiar with Cardi B. Y'all heard of Cardi B. We don't got to do no introduction about it. But let's take a look up on the screen. And this paragraph actually comes from an article written by the British Broadcasting Company. I guess they interviewed Cardi B about her past life. Like, in case you didn't know, Cardi B comes from the same past life as Six the Goddis, right? The same, they was up in the club, making it rain, making it dance, you know what I'm saying? Busting them cheeks, you dig what I'm saying? So let's get into it. It says this. Nothing was handed to me. Nothing, she said in the video, before going on to reveal that she would invite men to a hotel before drugging and robbing them. In response to the furor, she wrote on Instagram that she had been talking about things in my past, right or wrong, that I felt I needed to do to make a living. Now, wasn't that the same response and explanation that Six the Goddess gave when it came to light that she was also up in the strip club? She just said, listen, that was my past. I had to do what I had to do. It is what it is. It's the same exact thing. But this is what women do in that walk of life. But for whatever reason, that brother had to come into my comment section and try to make it seem like there was some type of moral high ground for an ex-stripper to take above an ex-police officer. There is no moral high ground for you to take as an ex-stripper. You have no room to speak. And anybody defending that, any man defending that, I know you are a weak man governed and controlled by the lust of the flesh. Because not only do strippers get involved in running game on men, stealing from men, stealing your watch, stealing your money, stealing your credit card, stealing your chain, stealing your rings, stealing your belongings, they also set you up to lose your life. Do you know how many black men that we have lost because they went to the strip club, took a woman home, and then they called up their boys, gave them their location, and the jack boys came through, robbed them for their shit, and then blew them away and took their life? You know how many black men we have lost at the hands of a stripper that was dishonest and running game and manipulating the situation? You brothers, man, you boys, man. And I told you, I'm a young dude, and that brother was older than me. I seen a profile picture. You older than me, brother. How the hell I got more common sense than you? Man, listen, y'all boys is weak. Controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh. You weak. Now, let's continue. And keep in mind, this just pops up on a random Google search. I just Google searched it randomly. And all these articles came in. We're gonna run through a bunch of articles today. Take a look up on the screen. Prostitution suspect accused of stealing $90,000 in cash from a tourist. You see what happens when you're controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh? You get robbed for $90,000. Let's continue. We're going to jump into the next article. Take a look up on the screen. Woman with prostitution history accused of stealing $103,000. Do you see what happens when you are controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh? You get robbed for $103,000. Let's continue. Let's jump into the next headline. Las Vegas prostitute got two men to go to hotel rooms with her, then stole their Rolex and their AP watches worth $87,000. Do you see what happens when you are controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh? You get robbed for your Rolex and your AP worth 87 racks. Let's continue. Next headline. Prostitute known for stealing watches is at it again, this time $100,000 worth. That happened back in 2019. Like I said, man, you see what happens when you are controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh? You get robbed for 100 racks in jewelry. Let's continue. Next headline, it says this. Man calls police after prostitute steals wallet during bathroom break. You see what happens when you're controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh? You get robbed for your wallet. Let's continue. Next headline, it says this. Prostitute steals man's car after spending night together in a Metro Detroit hotel. You see what happens when you're controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh? You get robbed for your vehicle. Let's continue. Let's jump into the next headline. And keep in mind, these are just random articles I just Googled because that's how often it happens. That's how frequently it happens. It's like 10 pages worth of Google articles coming up, bro. I just chose randomly. Now, let's continue. This one says, woman accused of stealing $230,000 in watches from a man at a Las Vegas strip resort. Do you see what happens when you're controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh? You get robbed for damn near $250,000 in watches. God damn. Jesus Christ. Let's continue. Next article, it says this. Panhandle prostitute steals Alabama man's heart, then his money, deputies say. It is what it is, man. Controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh. Let's continue. Let's jump into the next headline. Woman accused of hiding stolen $12,000 watch inside herself faces theft charges in Las Vegas. Yes, the man took her back from wherever he got her from, the club, I don't know, the Las Vegas strip, I don't know. And then went back to the room, stole the man's watch, put it inside a coochie, and ran up out the spot. You see what happens when you're controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh? You get robbed for your watch worth 12 racks. And that's the problem with y'all boys, man. You see a woman with a beautiful physical presentation and all your common sense goes out the window. And somehow you believe that an ex-stripper has a moral ground to stand upon and lay judgment upon an ex-police officer. I don't understand it. But like I said, when you're controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh, your common sense and your IQ levels go down to the goddamn basement and you start operating like a goddamn idiot. And I don't care if you unsubscribing, bro, because at the end of the day, for every one subscriber I lose, I gain like 20 more. So the congregation gonna keep building it. It's gonna keep expanding. And I don't need no dumb niggas inside my congregation, like I said. So let's continue. Next article. This one says, Police search for 2 women accused of stealing a man's Rolex watch, credit card in Fort Lauderdale. Now, this is off topic, but a good amount of these articles come out of the state of Florida. And as we all know, Six the Goddess, she come from that state of Florida. So, like I said, man, any woman in sex work out that state of Florida, I already know. I already know. Just like any woman out of Las Vegas, California, Houston, I'm already knowing. You coming for trouble. You coming for trouble. Those women are masters at manipulation when it comes to capitalizing upon weak men who are controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh. Let's continue. Next headline. This one says, mystery woman steals man's $40,000 Rolex. See what happens when you're controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh? Let's continue. Caught on camera. Man's $200,000 watch collection stolen after he invites woman home from the club. Miami police have surveillance video of a woman getting into elevator with a large orange bag. Once again, I told you, that state of Florida, yeah. Six the Goddess hometown, yeah. This is what they cultivate at a very high level. Yeah. This is what y'all weak boys be falling for. Losing your $200,000 watch collection. Losing your $50,000 Rolex. Losing your $100,000 AP. Losing your chain. Losing your credit cards. Because you're weak and you're governed by the lust of the flesh. You're a weak man. Go to therapy. Let's continue. Next headline, it reads, woman allegedly steals $75,000 watch from a man's hotel room. That happened just last month, back in April. Let's continue. Next headline, it reads, woman drugged men to steal Rolexes, Cartier bracelets, and other high-end items, Miami police. That happened last month. Once again, coming out of that state of Florida. Once again. So to the brother that came into my comment section trying to say I'm defending the police, whatever. I'm not defending no police, brother. I'm defending a black man. But you're defending an ex-stripper. That's what you're defending. This is what they do in that line of work. So yes, I'm going to defend the black man for sure. But you want to defend an ex-stripper? It is what it is. I don't defend no ex-strippers because I know what they do. I know who they are. I look at them like the scum beneath my shoe. Because I know women in that line of work, there's no integrity. They are thieves. They're liars, manipulators, crooks. They're scum. And I'm Haitian. So you know I be running through Florida all the time. I know how my Florida girls get down. I know they be running through y'all boys, destroying y'all boys, robbing y'all boys. I know my Florida girls. I know my Florida girls very well. That's why I'm not controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh. I'm not bamboozled by a physical presentation and some sweet words. I know how they get down. I know how they get down. And they'll never be able to run that game on me because I know them very well. Let's continue. Next headline. Once again, coming out of Florida. Once again. Florida man says woman he met at a bar stole $52,000 in valuables from his home. Police say the woman stole 2 designer watches, his iPhone, his wallet, and $1,000 cash while inside his home. Do you see what happens when you are controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh? Let's continue. Next article, once again coming out of Florida, from the Miami Herald. It says this: Subana Baya, the notorious bar girl accused of drugging and robbing men across South Florida, has been charged again, this time allegedly pilfering $76,000 in jewelry from a South Beach oil tycoon. Do you see what happens when you are controlled and governed by the lust and the desires and the carnality of the flesh? Let's continue. Next headline. This is the same woman from the last article. Subana Baya pleads guilty to stealing $1 million in cash and jewelry throughout South Florida. 3 other women allegedly involved in the scheme. I told y'all, but I know my Florida girls very well. I know my Florida girls very well. And Six the Goddess, she coming out of Florida. I know my Florida girls very well in the line of sex work. I know how they get down. There is no integrity. There is no honesty. There is no morality. They are masters at manipulation. They are masters at manipulation. They can spot a weak man from a mile away. They can spot a weak man. They can smell it out like the goddamn police canine smell out the cocaine. They can see a weak man. They can capitalize upon it and they gonna jump upon it. And they know you boys are weak. They know you boys is weak. They know it. They know it. Do you see what happens when you are governed and controlled by the lust of the flesh? You get robbed for $1 million in cash, in jewels. Goddamn. And the reason I'm making this video is not to demonize sex workers because we already know what it is. But I'm just saying, don't come into my comment section trying to act like there's a moral high ground, as if Six the Goddess has any room to open her goddamn mouth against anybody from any line of work. Because the same way that she said the police are the enemy, in my mind, women from your line of work, from your former line of work, you the enemy. Because when a rich black man walk in the room, you immediately start plotting on him. How to rob him, how to set him up, how to steal his watch, how to steal his credit cards. And in many cases, you set them up to be killed. And that's why in my videos that I do on Six the Goddess, I'm very dismissive about the majority of things she says. Because like I said, I know my Florida girls very well, man. I know you can't run that game on me, man. Shut your goddamn mouth. Shut your fucking mouth. Let's continue. Next headline, it says this: Deputies seek women accused of stealing $25,000 Rolex from a man they met at a Fort Lauderdale bar. Once again, coming out of that state of Florida. Broward Sheriff's Office detectives announced Thursday investigators are seeking to identify 2 women suspected of stealing a man's, watch. Bro, I'm telling you, bro. Listen, man, I know my Florida girls very well. I love my Florida girls, but I know you gotta watch them. You gotta watch them like a hawk. You gotta watch them, boy. Let's continue. Jesus Christ, once again coming out of the state of Florida. Take a look up on the screen. Wealthy Florida man is robbed of his gun, his sneakers, and his diamond-encrusted watch by 2 women. Yo, listen, bro. Listen, I have nothing to say. That's why I have the attitude that I have towards Six the Goddess, because you cannot run game on me the same way you run game on the dumbass niggas inside your congregation. It will never happen. Let's continue. Next headline. British man asks police to find a woman who stole his Rolex. Bro, a lot of these articles is coming out in the past few weeks. Like, a lot of these articles is coming out in the past month. This was 2 weeks ago. Bro, it happens all the time. This happens all the time. It happens every day. A man takes a woman home from the club, lose the watch, lose the Rolex, lose the AP, lose the chain, lose the credit card, lose the, you know what I mean? So me, myself, as a black man that comes from money, who do I have to watch? The strippers or the police? Which one is targeting me more? The police or the stripper? Which one is more of a scavenger? The police or the stripper? Because I'll tell you this right now, in the state of New York, I have something that is called a PBA card. I believe it's called the Police Benevolence Association card. Man, I flashed that to the police. You know how many traffic incidents I've been able to escape with no incident, no ticket, no nothing? I done crashed my car one time without even having my license on me. And because I had the PBA card that my pops gave me, because my pops, he got connections with the local law enforcement, I didn't get no charges, bro. I ain't get nothing happen to me, bro. Nothing. Because guess what? When you got that paper, you can do shit like that. When you're a business owner that contributes to the local community and everybody knows you, you get connected with the local politicians and the law enforcement. So you get a slap on the wrist for a lot of shit. But when it comes to the stripper, she gonna target you regardless. She gonna come at you regardless. She gonna steal from you regardless. There is no slap on the wrist. She come in and take everything you got, from your watch to your cash to the jewelry to the rings to your chain to your credit card, and sometimes even your life. Rest in peace to all the brothers that took a chick home from the club and then she called the homies from the hood and then they came through, robbed you for everything, including your life. Rest in peace to those brothers, man. We don't talk about that enough. But yeah, man, I don't want to make this video too long. I believe you get the idea. What I'm trying to say is this. Six the Goddess and anybody who supports her has no moral high ground to stand on when it comes to laying judgment and condemnation upon Nathan Daley. For multiple reasons. Number one, Six the Goddess herself said you should not judge somebody by their past, by what they did in the past. So if Nathan Daley was an officer in the past, then by her own words, by her own doctrine, you should not judge that man by his past. But if you were to judge somebody by what they did in the past, by the line of work they were involved in the past, then we got to be honest. Six the Goddess, your line of work, if you compare it to the police, Nathan Daley is a more honorable individual than any stripper, especially the women coming out of your home state of Florida. I tell you that right now. Some of the most cutthroat, some of the most savage-minded, some of the most scavenger-minded individuals you will ever meet. Beautiful as ever though. Beautiful on the outside, scavenger on the inside. And when it comes to those women, you got to stand on your square. You got to put your foot down 100% of the time. You cannot give them an inch. Because if you give them an inch, they're going to run off with a whole damn hectare. Listen, stop it. You give them an inch, they go take 700,000 square feet. And that's why when I do my videos on Six the Goddess, I'm constantly saying, Six, stop running game, bro. Stop running game. We see right through the bullshit. Man. Stop running game, man. And of course, it should come as no surprise to anybody that Six the Goddess has an adversarial mentality towards the police, because look at the women who come from her former line of work. They're in the streets. They're involved in criminality, robbing and stealing, grand larceny, drugging men. This happens every single day, every single night. Some man in America gets robbed for his belongings by a stripper. It happens every single night. It happened last night. It's going to happen tonight. It's going to happen tomorrow night. It happened last week. It happened last month. It's going to happen next month. It's part of that life. The same black men that Six the Goddess claims that she's defending and she has faith in the black man and she believes in the black man, those same honest black men, hardworking black men, they get robbed every night by women from her former line of work. Those same black men, those hardworking black men that love their community, that get up every day, grind hard, stack their bread, they get robbed every damn night by strippers, escorts, women on a blade, It is what it is. That's what happens when you're controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh. And that brother yesterday that came into my comment section trying to say he's unsubscribing, it is what it is, bro. You're controlled and governed by the lust of the flesh. You'll turn on your own brother for a woman who, if she was still in the strip club, she would rob you for your goddamn Rolex. But you're going to turn on your brother. It is what it is. I don't give a damn. Anyways, man, it's your boy Never Card Desaline back in the building. Yes, indeed. Like, share, subscribe, cash app up on the screen. And I'm gone. Peace.